Shabbat Shalom, welcome. Thank you for being here at Temple Beth Abraham and those who are watching on YouTube. A special weekend for the Skiles family, for Leah Skiles becoming Bat Mitzvah, and she'll be leading a few things tonight and a ton tomorrow. So anyway, we're going to begin together on page 5. Page 5, Sing unto God a new song, Shir Ladonai. Shir Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shir Ladonai, Kol haaretz, Shir Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Zachru Lagoyim ke'evodo b'chol ha'amim niflotav ki gadol Adonai u'ulal me'od no'orahu al kol Elohim ay ki kol Elohei ha'amim elilim parnai shamayim asa והדר ואלחנה ותפארת במקדשו אדון אדוני ישבו עמים אדון אדוני כבוד ועוז אדון אדוני כבוד שמו זכו מנחה וברך עצמותיו ישתחוו הקודש, חינוך מפניו כל הארץ, אם בגאים אדוני מלך, אך תיכון תבל ותיבוק, ירים עמים ומשרים, ישרו השמיים ותג הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, אל תירדנו כל ארצי יער מפני אדוני כי איבה לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט אותה בצדק ועמים אמרתו to jump to page 12. Page 12. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu behar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu behar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romelu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romelu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. All right, page 13, Mizmor David. Mizmor David, Avol Adonai Beni. Adonai, al hamayim, ve'al kavod. Adonai, ve'echanak Adonai, shover arazim, v'shaver Adonai, et arzei havanon, v'yar kirem kemo egel, le'vano ve'esirion, ke'emo kemo v'edrehi, ay, Adonai, ozer lavot esh, Adonai, yakil miba, yakil Adonai, miba kadesh, Adonai, yechol ayalon, vayecheso, ye'aro, u'echalo, tulo over kavod, ay, Adonai, la'avu yachava yisher Adonai, melech le'olam, Adonai os, le'amo yiter Adonai, yevarech et amo v'shalom. Hey, all right, page 15, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, ונשבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, ונשבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור וגיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ונקבה. אדוני, לך אדוני לקראת קהלה, ונשמה נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קהלה, ונשמה נקבלה. לקראת שבת ובנלך, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך אדוני לקראת קהלה, ונפני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קהלה, ונפני שבת נקבלה. Bottom of 17, Yamin Usmo Tifrotzi, El Adonai Ta'isi, Al-Yadi Shabin Parzi, V'nishmecha v'nagi la 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 Dodi, Likrat Likrat Kala, V'nei V'nei Shabbat, V'kawela, L'cha Dodi, Likrat Likrat Kala, V'nei V'nei Shabbat, V'kawela. And we welcome the Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi kala, boi kala. Lecha lecha Dodi, l'krat l'krat kala, v'nei v'nei shabbat. And we say to any mourners under mitzvah, may God comfort you with all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We may be seated. We're on page 19. Page 19. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. והגיד בבוקר חסדך לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. We continue on our own, pages 19 and 20. Tzadika tamar yifrach ka'erev balanon yizkeh shetunim bebeit Adonai v'chatro Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun b'seva d'shenim v'ra'ananim yehu lehagid yashar Adonai tzuri v'lo avlatavo Adonai malach geo lavesh Adonai azita zarav tikon terevalti mo achot kizacha me'az ma'amata l'sunerot Adonai l'sunerot kolam misunerot yam Mikol mayim rabim adirim mishpereyam adir b'marom Adonai Please rise briefly for the call to prayer, the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. You may be seated, Baruch Adonai Le'olam Haolam, Asher Bivaro Ma'arivaram. Chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'arivarim. Page 24. Page 25. Shema Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meotecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavecha, hayom b'levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta ba'am, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uv'lechtecha b'derech, v'shokvecha v'kumecha, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך. We continue silently, page 27 to 29. תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, שהוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. טוב רצון כדור להם בו, שבני ישראל חדשו גם בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם. יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. תורת תהילות עושה פלא, תורת תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 כפרנית יעקב, לכם, ולא מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל. 33. השיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים, השיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. שמור צאתנו, Selenu Sukkot Shalom Becha, Baruch Atah Adonai, Havarei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, Hakom Yisrael Yerushalayim. Please rise for Bishamru, page 34. Bishamru, Bnei Yisrael, El Hashavat, Lasol El Hashavat, Bnei Yisrael, Oti Leolam, Oti Leolam, Oti Leolam. Shamru Bnei Yisrael, El Hashavat, Lasol El Hashavat, Brit Olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et Hashamayim v'et haaretz Shamru Bnei Yisrael, El Hashavat, Lasol El Hashavat, Brit Olam. Uvayom hashmini Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. Shamru Bnei Yisrael, El Hashavat, Lasol El Hashavat, Brit Olam. We remain standing for the Chatzi Kaddish, and we invite Leah Skiles, Bat Mitzvah, to come up and lead us.
Amen.
Yasher Koach. Private Amidah now, pages 37 through 48. Pages 37 through 48. Judy Bloomfield, in addition to being a long-term member and been involved very musically in her career, is actually in cantorial school right now as well. So she's here. I made her sing. That's pretty much that story. We're going to do Mapea Tefila. Jacqueline, who is also no, she's not actually Leah's tutor, but just most of the kids. But she's going to lead us in this next. No, it's optional for Leah. Page 49. Thank you. 49.
ויבולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל אלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון קונה שמיים וארץ מגן אבות בדברו מחיי מתים במאמרו האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו כי בם רצה להניח לכם כי בם רצה להניח לכם לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד ואין הברכות אל ההודות אדון השלום מקדש השבת ובורך שביעי ומניח מקדושה ליומי קדושי עונג זכר למעשה בראשית אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו רצה במנוחתנו קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך שמנו מטובך ושמחנו בשועתך ותאר ליבנו לעבדך באמת והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך וענווה ישראל מקדשי שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Yasher Koach. Kaddish Shalem, page 53. Once again, call upon Leah.
Amen. ואמרתי ואחרתי ואמרתי בחלקום במקום וחטא באישה והגלה בזמן חטאים נרו.
Amen. Yehei Shnei Rama Mevorach Ve'olam Lo Ve'omaya Yisara
ובריאה וישבע ובער ואומם ונעשה ויתדע ויתלה ויתלש ותקושה
Bריהו
ואלם יבוא ברכתה ושעתה ששבחתה ונחמתה תאמינה והמאמינו
Amen.
שסובה צאתך ובכל דחו ישראל קודם אברהם Yishmai Bimeru.
Amen.
Yehi Shabram Yishmaya. V'chayim Aleinu V'Kol Yisrael Bimeru.
Amen.
Yosei Shalom B'Mamav V'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Kol Yisrael Bimeru.
Amen. Yasher Koach.
Thank you, Liam. We look forward to much more tomorrow. We're going to pause now for the historical moment. That's what I've generally been doing on Friday nights. For those of you who don't know, I read a letter found in our files, usually from people who have passed away. Most of these are from the 60s or 70s. And right now, this next set, which I'll be doing for the next several weeks, even months, are kind of just intra-synagogue happenings, things that happen in the synagogue. So this one is fun because of, well, you'll see in just a second. It's from Rabbi Harold Schulweis to Mr. and Mrs. Irving Lutz. Dear Irving and Dorothy, on the Friday evening of December 28th, the last window dealing with the Hanukkah festival will be officially dedicated. Okay, so in what order were these windows created? I don't know, but I know that that one was last, okay, the Hanukkah one. On that Friday, I will speak of the message which each window represents and which embraces the calendar choreography of Jewish life. As one who has contributed toward the aesthetic and ritual significance of our sanctuary by commissioning on one of these festival windows, your presence is especially appropriate at such an event. May I look forward to seeing you on the celebration of the completion of our sanctuary windows. With warmest familial regards and Hanukkah greetings, cordially, Harold Schulweis, Rabbi. So the artist finished the Hanukkah one in time for Hanukkah, at least I think. And, you know, there you have it. So for those who don't know, just a little bit about the windows. I know some of you do know something about the windows, but so they were all produced in the late 50s and early 60s by, and excellent, thank you, Josh, by an artist named Victor Reese, who's one of the most prolific metal artists of the 20th century in America. You've never heard of him, but his work is everywhere. And it's not just Jewish work. He also did all kinds of jewelry. His most prominent pieces are here. He also has some at Temple Beth Shalom in San Leandro, so where father of the Bat Mitzvah grew up. So Aaron, they look similar. That's because it is the same artist. And Victor, I mean, he was a really incredible guy. He escaped, either Austria or Germany pre-World War II and came here. He lived to be over 100 years old. And one year we actually had him here while I was describing the windows on Rosh Hashanah, but it was a surprise when he stood up, and we were really honoring him. There's actually a documentary movie which you can find, I think, on YouTube called Metal Man, about his life and his artistry. I mean, and these things are really incredible. I mean, just they're all copper. This probably might have been better to do when it's darker because, for those who know, these windows are actually color. You cannot see that. When any sun is shining at all, it just looks like they're copper color, but it's actually red and blue and green and yellow. If you look really closely, you might be able to tell. Each one obviously represents a holiday. I don't know the significance within each holiday to him, except the only one I can tell you about in particular is the Passover one, because that one was actually designed not by Rabbi Schulweis himself. Rabbi Schulweis, he wasn't the artist, Victor Reese was, but Rabbi Schulweis was the one who came up with what should be on each window. And Rabbi Schulweis was really an artist himself, except for the Passover one. That was a contest for the religious school. And one of the kids, uncredited, came up with this particular concept, which includes the burning bush at the top, which matches the burning bush over by the ark, the breaking of the chains, and the splitting of the sea in the middle. So, yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about our windows, and I was reminded of that by this letter. So, fun for now?
Was this before the windows, just the windows without the copper?
Yeah, I believe so. They're just windows. And I mean, they're still windows. There's no stained glass in them at all. Judy? This is from 1962, December 4th, 1962. What was that?
The year before I was born.
The year before you were born. So, excellent. And anyway, it's fun. I mean, really, really amazing stuff. It turns out other people really are appreciating these letters. I mean, it's just super fun for me. I just like, you know, when you go back in history and you get original sources and you can learn, and sometimes even just guess what they're trying to say. I think the first one we started with, sorry, just for a brief digression, was the one about a kiddush lunch where the bar mitzvah family was very upset because by the time they got down to the kiddush lunch, most of the food was gone. It looked like, you know, animals had torn it apart, and they were very mad at the caterer, and they wanted their money back, and this was all about this. It was something else. But then if you looked at it more carefully, you realize what actually used to happen at the kiddush lunches is that the core of the congregation grew up in the Depression. And so they would go and they would and she alluded to people taking food and putting it in their purses and stuff. And that would actually happen because even though these people were now successful enough to, you know, have jobs and businesses, they were afraid it was going to disappear in a heartbeat. So that was a very common thing at our synagogue and some others. So unless you actually had like guards there or people serving the food, it would be ravaged. And so this was actually not atypical. But so you got to look. I mean, it was hilarious, and especially, you know, on the eve of a bat mitzvah or whatever. But it also tells you something about who was here. So anyway, fun stuff. All right, we are going to now rise for the Kiddush on page 55. And we're going to invite Rebecca and Aaron and Leah and Ben to come up. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah v'shalat kodsho v'ratzah nifilanu zikaron l'ma'aseh b'reishit kivu yom tefillah l'nikrei kodesh zecher l'tzion Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'charta, Yotanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, V'shabat ha'koshecha, B'yaham imchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh ha'Shabbat. Amen. Time to life. And it's time to bless our children or anyone else who might be comfortable enough blessing. Put your hands on their heads and we say, Simach Elohim, Kasara, Rivka, Rachel Leah, Yivarech, Yisimcha, Elohim Kafraim, Elohim Menashe, Yivarech, Adonai Yishmerecha, Aaron Adonai Belecha, Yisrael Adonai Belecha, V'yasem Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. Amen. You guys go back to your seats and remain standing for the Aleinu. Aleinu Shabbat Adon Hakol Latei Gdula Leotzer Vreishi Shelo Asanu Kegavei Haratzot Velo Samanu Kemishpachot Ha'adama Shelo Samtal Kenu Kahem Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Anamnu Korim Umishtachavim umodim Livnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu notei shamayim v'yosem haaretz Umoshe v'karo b'shamayim b'ma'ah U'shchinat uzo Shechina Tuzo Bego Emiromim Hu Eloheinu Eino Em Malkeinu Efezulato Kakatu Betorato Bedatayo Behashivota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim Vashamayim Bimah V'Haaretz Mitachat Eino. Kakatu b'torah yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai le'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. We may be seated as we lovingly recall the memory of our departed relatives and friends whose yortzeit we observe during the coming week, thinking especially tonight of Lena Adowich, Edward Lee Berkovich, Philip Bierman, Ann Kemis Brodke, Louis M. Brodowski, Eva Klein David, Sylvia C. Davis, Peter DeVoren, Joseph Dienstag, Robert Edessis Sr., Leah Friedman, Bill Hale, Rose Jaffe, Norman Allen Katz, Fanny Kessler, Molly Kessler, Samuel Kestenblatt, Matilda Kramer, Edward Kushner, Charles Levine, Harry Levitch, Jonathan Lisker, Jacob Miron, Celia Nasri Bar Avraham Va'ana Oreste, Saul Quitman, Chaim Ram, Robert Rothman, Fanny Schiffman, Irving Isaac Schoen, Jacob Seltzer, Sam Silver. The playground is named for Sam Silver. Saul Quitman was one of the original founders of the congregation and owned a haberdashery in Oakland. We are also in the Shloshim for Martin Sherman. Memories have all been with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing your side, as well as anyone who choose to do so, to rise for the mourner's Kaddish at this time, page 61. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach cherutei ve'amlich malchutei ve'chayichon u'v'yomecha ve'echo beit Yisrael b'galam v'zman kariv v'imru amen yehi Shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam amen l'maya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitdaleh v'yitdalal Shemei kudsha b'richu la'elam im kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Tamiran Yomam Vibru Yehi Shlama Rama Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Vibru Oseh Shalom Bimrama Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Vibru Amen. Zikronam Livracham, in the memory of the people you've come to say Kaddish for, be a blessing to you always. Amen. All right, some announcements. First of all, thank you to Josh Malin for streaming our services. And I think there's people from extra new people watching tonight as part of Leah Scow's extended family. Also thank you to Joan Rubin for being the board greeter. We want to, well, tomorrow, let's start with tomorrow. 9:30, services start. Leah Scow's become Tzvat Mitzvah. She'll be reading Torah, reading Haftorah, leading the Torah service, leading the Musaf service, giving the Drash. And maybe even more, who knows, but a lot of Leah tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. There's Mahjong afterward, after, a little bit of lunchtime. Those who wish to play can play Mahjong, led by my wife Karen. Sunday, we start confirmation class, and there's 14 10th graders signed up this year. I had 3 last year, so I'm excited. Was it 3 or 4? 4 last year. So you can see the pictures on the wall. The most recent one is very small, but we're going to have a lot. This year, we have Beit Sefer, religious school for kindergarten through 7th grade is starting with a barbecue, first day of school and barbecue on Tuesday, 4 o'clock. Then we have the adult Hebrew alphabet class continues on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. There's also a Hebrew decoding refresher class on Sunday, September 4th. Next Friday, Beit Sefer Mechina Shera Shabbat at 5:30 p.m. and then a second service at 6:15 p.m. I haven't quite worked out who's leading what, but Jacqueline Marshall, we might talk about it. All right. And anyway, I think that's it for the Beth. Yeah. So I couldn't understand you. Oh yes, the A's. There's an A's men's club A's game on Sunday, and with a tailgate. I think you have already had to have to purchase, but if you're going there, it's on Sunday. I will actually be with the BYO regional board doing some board training on Jewish leadership at this Sunday, so we'll not be there. Okay, but we have a few sort of. Well, first of all, we've got the whole Skiles clan. So I'm going to come over to you and give us an idea of who's with you, who came, where they're from. I know we got people from Albany and San Leandro, but
right. Aaron's parents are here. Bobby and Jim Skiles from San Leandro. Aaron's sister Tova, her wife Nikki from Davis. My parents, Jim and Sheila Cole from Albany, New York. My niece Bela and my brother-in-law Joe Rosenfield from Portland, Maine, Cape Elizabeth, Maine. And we have our good friend Sam with us from Oakland.
excellent. All right. Thank you. A very special welcome back to the Brown family, right? Ari and Becky and their kids Isaac and Adam and Simon. They spent last year in Eretz Israel. And they attended an international school there. I got to hang out with them in Old Yaffo for lunch in February. That's wonderful. Did you see them? You didn't see them while you were at. Oh, you were at the same. They were at international school, you were at the American school, but close. All right, and tell me your name. Andy? Where are you visiting from, Andy? Okay, so you're a first timer here. Welcome. Great to have you here. Andy, so please say hello.
Welcome.
By the way, there's a little dessert tonight, sponsored by the family in the courtyard by the chapel, not down there, but I think it's over there. Do we know? Okay, so
it was in the chapel when I walked by.
Yeah, so it was in the chapel, so I think it's back there. Please have a couple mini cheesesteaks or whatever. And so I think that's it. Well, you've been here before, but I'll introduce them again anyway, but not too many more times, hopefully, right? Because this is Tommy and Sky. So welcome. Great to have you here. And I will share this because it's so interesting. So Tommy grew up on a conservative movement, Masorti Kibbutz in Israel. There is such a thing, right? And he lived it. So very cool. All right, so I think that's it. And we'll conclude with a song that's not in the book. Whenever I see Susan Gilday here for Yorkside, it's always a good excuse to do one of her favorite Jewish songs. It's a beautiful song, Eli Eli, which is actually technically called A Walk in Caesarea. The words are written by Hannah Senish, who died as a paratrooper across enemy lines, fighting for Israel, or not only fighting for Israel, fighting against the Nazis actually in World War II. And despite the sadness of the world, she looked and said, "There's so much beauty here: the sand, the sea, the rush of the waters." Shelo yigaber וישבו של המים ורק השמיים תפילת האדם החול והים וישבו של המים ורק השמיים תפילת these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, she go up.